include the delicious coffee creation thing. One of those. I'm at Cone Cafe, which is very popular. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Anyway, it's very popular. But I've never been here much. I think the last time I came was when I came on vacation like 5 years ago. You know, the vacation that didn't last an eternity. And anyway, it's popular. They have really good, they have good locations. It's a chain. They pick good spots. This one is right on the lake. It really has a really great view. Better than the much larger Highland across the street. I'm catching a, no, this pedicab wants to take me home. He doesn't, he wants to take me around the lake, but I don't want to go around the lake. It costs 5 times more to go around the lake than it does to go home. It's a lot farther. You know, it's probably a fun thing to do for tourists, but there are no tourists here now, so no thank you. Anyway, I should turn it around. You can see the looks I'm getting.
Okay.
Oh, here he is. I mean, here's the driver.
No.
Yes, hello? Yes? Yes? Can you hear me? Oh. Oh, okay. I think you're around the corner. I'm at Cone Cafe. Cone Cafe. No, I think he's on his way. It's hard to tell. Yes, he is. Okay. Anyway, just put me on the phone with the driver. He's with the Grab app, and he's still like, "Would you sure you don't want to take the pedicab?" No, I don't want that. I got a bike coming. Make sure you get on the correct motorbike. Right. It's not showing me the cab name. I mean the cab name. The you know, license plate number. It's not showing me the license plate number. Cone Cafe. Again, Cone Cafe. It's easy. Alright, set this away then. Okay, so the reason I'm getting a bike is my bike didn't work today. You know, it's never cranked very well, and it doesn't stay running. And today it just didn't do anything, and I don't really deal with it anymore. I never did. That's why I didn't buy the thing to begin with. Hi.
Nghe thì tiếng nói.
Yeah. Okay. Spending the rest of the day at home, by the way. I just came out for lunch because I didn't have what it took to clean the kitchen and make breakfast. And so I just came out down here. I waited till lunch. Close to lunch. No, I waited till lunch. And then I came down here. And ate at one of the fine Vietnamese establishments around the lake. Could have gone anywhere, but I just wanted to come somewhere quick. Anyway, so I'm gonna get you closer because I think you're probably not hearing me. And you're probably not anyway now. We're on the road. Got a giant head on your screen. You can argue with that. Anyway, yeah, bike's not working. And this is why I don't want to own a bike. Like, I don't have the money to get it fixed. If I didn't have the money to get a decent bike to begin with, you know, I appreciate that Terry went out and spent this money and got this bike, but as much use. It's a cheap bike because the thing doesn't work. And yeah, I'm not keen on continuing with it, to be honest. Over the long run, it's cheaper to own that than it is to get grab bikes everywhere. But not in the short run. I mean, $100 will get you a long ways in Hanoi, in Vietnam. And you spent $130 on that bike, so I could have been traveling for a long time on that amount of money. Granted, I wouldn't have had a bike in the end, but I don't really have a bike now. They just pour right out there, don't they? Anywho, let's see, that's pretty much today. On my grab bike home, I'm gonna get there, and I had my adult class last night. I don't remember if I was well enough earlier this week to tell you guys what happened with the kids class. Kids class got canceled. I still have the adult class. That's not going to be anywhere near what it takes to pay rent, but okie doke. They're still going to try and get the kids class going, but out of 3 kids, they had 2 canceled, so they just canceled the class. I'm going to do for my adult class first, since I actually have people showing up for that. I'm going to try and put together a couple of lesson plans, and then reverse engineer the thing and put together a curriculum. And then if I have time, because that's not a quick, easy thing to do, I'm going to do that for the kids class. But they did kind of ask me, like, they weren't asking for a curriculum until I told them they needed one. Now they're just like, well, why don't you put that together? And I'm like, well, I'm not even going to be paid really for the classes that I'm doing. I guess I am, because Terry paid for my visa. But he's not going to pay for it next month, and I'm going to be thinking about that. And, yeah, I mean, that is a long, involved process. I mean, I don't mind doing it, to be completely honest, but I got to start planning out my time more for making money for me, as soon as I figure out how to do that. Yeah. So I'm not sure how I'm going to handle that. They don't really seem to get what a curriculum even is. Like, I think one time they asked me, this might have been Terry. To be fair to Terry, he's not in this industry. He's not done education, but I'd say he's a good guy. I like him. This is usually how I start out all of my sentences about school owners. But it's a rich people thing, you know? They don't bother to learn about the thing that they're investing in. Like, he doesn't really know about education. He even told me, he said it's a low investment and a high profit. That's why I wanted to get into it. And I'm like, it's not low investment. It is compared to a lot of industries, I guess, but they seem to think, and this was a problem in mainland China too, that if you hire the teacher and you put them in a room, then you have a school. That's it. You don't have to buy books, and you don't have to have a curriculum, and you don't have to hire even people that know what they're doing. Like, honestly, I'm not. I've done this for 5 years, but I'm not properly trained in it. I didn't go to school to be a teacher, and there are plenty of people out there who know a lot more than I do about it, and they're not willing to hire. And they're like, why would I hire you? I've already got a person standing in a room. That's a school. So why spend more than that? And of course, they come out with I need school. And even when you put something together and ask them to get just simple things, you're going to teach little kids, and you want to do crafts and things to keep them occupied. Paint, the mountains that had to be moved to get paint in China in my previous school. They can get the most money for the littler kids, kindergartens. So that's who they go after. But then you ask for anything that would be in a kindergarten. No, that's too much. I'm not going to do that. And I told him when we started this school, I told him you need to like structure these kindergartens. If you're gonna go for smaller kids, actually, first thing I told him was you need to decide to go after either kindergarten age kids or older kids, primary school. It should be one or the other, because the rooms are going to be totally different, right? No, didn't do that. It's like you can't throw them in together. He has one sizable room that he could be using for as a real classroom, and it's not really set up for anything, especially not kindergarten age, because there's no toys and there's no play areas. Yeah. Anyway, that was a long tangent. The point of all that was, like, I'm gonna try and put this good stuff together for the. No, this way, this way. Hey, hey, hey!
Well, don't do it.
Didn't know where it's at. That's actually pretty rare here, though. To be fair. Much more so than the U.S. Playing the one at the moment.
Đây.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Đây à?
Okay, yes. Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yep. Right here. Here. I did not look to see how much it was. Hmm? 19? Yeah. G. I think it's G. I've got just a 1 minute of bitching. Well, I might have one. Oh, okay. So that works. Come on. Thank you. Okay, now I'm gonna go over my 15-minute limit here for just a second, because I want to complain about that. I didn't want to do it in front of him. I know he doesn't understand English, but it's still rude to do it in front of people. And I just want to complain about that because I went out of my way not to give him a tip. I don't think he cared, because tipping is not like mandatory here anyway. But I did it. Normally I would have just said whatever, keep it, because he didn't have exact change. It was was only a very small amount that he owed me, but I made him give it to me because first he rode me not way past, but he rode me past the turn, so it took longer to get back than it should have anyway. And then when he got here, he still didn't know where he was at. Now, on my bike, I'm not a Grab driver, but on my bike, I've got a mount, and I put it on there not so I could film, which I'd use it for, to not much effect, but I've got a mount so that I can put my phone on there and have a map, see where I'm at. That way I know where I'm at. Now that doesn't make me perfect, or that I never miss a turn or something. But a lot of Grab drivers, most of them don't do that. Okay, that's fine. But then you have to know where you're going. In an age when any imbecile can pull up an address on their phone on the other side of the planet, even, you can get an address in a language you don't even know and copy and paste it into your map software, like Google Maps or whatever, Apple Maps. You can put that in and you can find the way there. Again, doesn't mean it's perfect. I'm not asking for perfection, but there's really no effort being made here. He's just like, oh, I'm gonna go off in that direction and see, see what turns hits me to turn at. I picked at my face today. Stupid. And so he missed the turn, of course, and he went way up the lake, and then he had to turn around and come back, and not the worst thing in the world, but then he got closer and he still didn't know which way to go. And I had to yell to get him to turn. I don't like having to do that because the driving is not the hard part. It's navigating the city that's difficult. And on the Grab bike on the way down there, I went to McDonald's, by the way. I shouldn't do that. On the way down there, I checked the route before I left, and there were two easy ways to go. Both of them avoided the historic center, because there's so much traffic there and the streets are so small. Even the computer knows not to go down there, right? So it routes you down the highway or down the main road in the newer part of the city, and then you loop back around and get to the south end of the historic district. But the driver couldn't do that. Now I'm blaming this guy for the first driver's stuff. But the driver couldn't do that, and it happens all the time. They'll go right through the middle of the historic district thinking they know better than Google does. And yeah, I get it. If you have some special knowledge of why it's better to go this way, okay, great. But the Google is just calculating the distance versus the speed you're allowed to go on each road, and because the bigger roads allow for higher speeds, they're faster. Duh, right? And invariably, they will drive right through the middle of the city center. And I'm like, I'm not on a tour here. I just want to get to the McDonald's. Can you just drive me there quickly? They always seem to think they know better, and it's just irritating. And then this guy just didn't know anything. Most of the guys that do this are younger guys. So, I guess they were on top of it. He just didn't, I don't know. I know as I get older, I get a lot less of a yeah, he didn't seem to care. He was just like, well, I'll just go down this other road. He was about to make another wrong turn. I was like, dude, no, that's not okay. You can't do that. So he's not getting a 5-star review. And I do that, I don't like it because I'm paying for it. And as we know, I'm from a country where you're supposed to tip about 150% of the cost of the item you're buying or the service you're getting based on absolutely nothing. If the waiter or waitress is an idiot and can't get your food there and doesn't know what you ordered or who you are, you're still supposed to give them a big, huge, enormous tip. And I just don't play that anymore. That's annoying. You got to know your job in order to do the thing that you're doing. I wonder where it looks like I'm looking. It doesn't look like I'm looking, because I'm not looking right at the camera. Now I'm looking at the camera, but I can't see my face. Am I looking at you now? How about now? Anyway, sorry, that's 20 minutes. I told you I'd go over. I just had to bitch about that. It's not a big deal. It's really not, but it just gets irritating that you're paying for this, especially now that I have a bike. I put gas in the bike, but it won't crank. It's now at about 3/4 of a tank. It won't crank, so I'm thinking it's not the gas this time. Who knows? I mean, I don't want a bike that I constantly have to maintain like this. Which is why I don't want a bike. And any kind, you buy a car or a bike or whatever, you're gonna have to maintain it. There's more trouble than I want to go to. I've already taken my pill today, but it's still not keeping me from coughing. All right. Well, that's it. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Sorry about the bitch session.